Hi everyone. This video is for when your fine tuners are all the way down. So this tutorial is gonna involve using the pegs. So if you don't feel comfortable using the pegs, make sure to have your parents help you with that. And if you're in level 4, you should be start getting comfortable with the pegs. Maybe we did that in class already. Maybe we haven't. If not, definitely go ask for help from an adult that can help you, because this is not easy. The reason why you're watching this video is because these fine tuners are all the way down. Now, if you can see that the G1 is up, meaning that there's still space for you to turn. But the D and the A, they've gone all the way down. I can't turn that anymore. I can't tighten it, to be specific. I can turn it to the counterclockwise, but I don't want to because I need to go up in pitch. So, for example, my A is low, but I can't turn it to go high anymore. So what I need to do is reset the pegs, reset the fine tuners. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset these three right here. And I'm going to do that by untuning them. By turning them counterclockwise, I am bringing the fine tuner out. So if I play the sound, the note, the string, the note is going down. Okay. Now let me do the A. Now, just for the sake of this video, I'm going to keep turning this, and you're going to get to a point where the sound doesn't change anymore. So I can feel it right now. All my extra turning is just removing the fine tuner. So you don't want to go too much, because then you're going to end up removing it completely, or leaving it there so loose that when you're playing and you put the violin down, this might just fall off. So you don't want to do that. You want to make sure it's somewhere in the middle. And you can tell, parents, you can tell when you're turning this, if you've accidentally taken it all the way out and you're tightening it again, you're bringing it back in there, it'll turn and turn and turn, and you'll feel the point where there's resistance. And that's the part of the resistance that now you're tuning the string. So you can give it a couple turns, and then that's when we reset the peg. So reset the fine tuner. Resetting the fine tuners doesn't mean that they're all the way out or very close. It just means that you've allowed for more space for your child to use them going forward. So see, this amount of space is just enough for the child for another month and a half, 2 months. Maybe even 3, for them to be tuning the violin on their own. Let me do the same thing with the E string. If you see the E string, it's not all the way down, but I'm doing this, might as well reset that one too, right? So loosening it right now and pretty much lining them up with all the other ones. I can bring them all up a little more, but again, I don't want to get too close to the point where they're so loose that they'll start falling out. So now that I've done this, I've untuned the violin, I have to retune it with the pegs. So make sure you know how to do that and watch the video on how to tune with the pegs. Tuning with the pegs, you want to do very, very short turns on these pegs, and you want to get leverage so that you're twisting and pushing in at the same time that you're turning. So my D string says that it's B, and it needs to go to C and then D. There's the C, I saw it right there, and C sharp, and there's the D. Let me go to the A string, do the same thing. It says F, G, and A. Now, that was pretty hard on the pegs. I mean, it required a lot of pressure, so definitely this is not something a 7 and 8-year-old should be doing. Let's do the E string, D. So you want to get a good hold of the peg This would be awkward. Coming in is also a little awkward, so I can, you know, move the violin to get the best grip. D sharp. There's the E, A. That's a C sharp, so we want to get it up to D. There, D. And it doesn't have to be in tune with the pegs. Remember, you're going to fine tune with the fine tuners. And the G says F, so let's also tune the G a little bit. We'll move it up just a little bit, and there's an F for a G. And the good thing about not bringing these fine tuners all the way up is that if you go too far, like I did here on the G, I can bring them back down. I can loosen it and still tune them with these fine tuners. Now double check your bridge, parents. Make sure that the bridge is straight. Because I tuned with this, with the pegs, it pushes, it tilts the bridge a little bit. In this case, I see that it is tilted a little bit. So how do you do that? Is you put the violin in your lap, the thumbs, you put your thumbs here, and then these fingers will be, these two fingers, you're going to grip the bridge with as many fingers as you can. So I'm using these two here on both sides. I'm using the thumbs. And I'm going to turn the top part of the bridge towards me just a little bit. So in this case, I like this grip better, because this is what I'm going to bring towards me. But at the same time, my bottom fingers are going to make sure that the bottom does not move under me. So there, I just moved it a little bit. And that was just enough to have, a nice straight bridge. You also want to check that the bridge didn't move when we were tuning it, so that the strings, the space here is about the same as the space here. If not, you know, you could grab the bridge and move it to the left, move it to the right. Every time you do this, by the way, you're going to have to double check your tuning and make sure that the bridge is here in the F holes. In that groove of the F holes. That's pretty much where that bridge goes. Another thing that I'm noticing is the bridge, for example, like this. See how that bridge right there, I don't know if you can see, it's not parallel with the fingerboard. It's not straight. So you have a crooked bridge there. That's another thing to watch out for. The bridge has to be parallel. So move the little feet until they are straight on both sides. Both sides should be touching that, should be aligning with the groove of the F hole. Every time you move the bridge, parents, you got to really hold it really hard, because there's a lot of tension wanting to resist. And if you want to pull that way, the strings want to pull this way. So you don't want to let them win. So you always have to be holding it very, very, very hard. No matter how much you're going to move it, even if it's just a little bit. You got to hold on to it, because sometimes it'll take you the opposite direction that you want to go to. All right, now that we've reset the bags, now we can start tuning it with the fine tuners. There's the E. That says G sharp. That's fine. I'm going to still tune it with the fine tuner. There's the A. D. And the G. And your violin is tuned, and the fine tuners are not all the way down, and that should last you a good couple of months.